Okay, good morning, everyone. Is anyone here still missing? And most of the people are here. Okay, so hopefully you all had a restful night. So last night the breath, who still cannot follow one? Who still can? More or less can, right? The Vipassana portion should be quite easy. It is the jhana portion which is a bit complicated. So I'll just show you. Okay, so the Anapanasati Sutta will more or less end off after it talks about further developing the 7 factors of awakening. Right? Because in this Anapanasati Sutta, it never clearly mentioned about jhanas yet. Never clearly mentioned about jhanas. So some people think, oh yeah, Anapanasati, Vipassana meditation. Yeah? Vipassana meditation. Okay, so sometimes the sutta is a bit like jigsaw puzzle. One sutta give you one piece of the puzzle. Then if you just look at one sutta only, you think it's like that. You won't see the whole picture. So you might need a few references, So I'm going to refer to another one called this Dipa Sutta, called Lamp. So it's also talking about breath meditation using the same 16 steps, exactly the same 16 steps. It can develop concentration. 16 steps to develop concentration. And this concentration has nothing to do with the 7 factors of awakening. Nothing to do with the 7 factors of awakening. In fact, this is about the story of the Buddha. How the Buddha used the breath meditation to reach enlightenment. How the Buddha used the breath meditation to reach enlightenment. So again, this is one puzzle. There's another puzzle which tell you, okay, the Buddha do until 4th jhana. After 4th jhana, then you see past life, right? So a lot of people want to see past life because of this story. That's from the Sutta, the Noble Search, right? But then afterwards, that's the first watch of the night. Then second watch, we see other beings past life. The third watch, then he is able to see the Four Noble Truths. So how to see the Four Noble Truths? Actually, interestingly, the Buddha used this method. Okay, so it talks about, he abide in this breath meditation to release from fermentation. That means to reach liberation. Okay, so this talks about the state of mind. In short, so the first one talks about resolves to abandon this household life. So this talk about relinquishment, detachment, state of detachment. And the one in red, perception of loathsomeness, thoughts of non-greed or non-lust. Then the last one, perception of unloathsomeness. So we talk about loving kindness. So these are the 3 that you kind of balance out the mind. So the mind needs to be balanced first before you do the breath meditation. So that's why we did all the Asukha meditation, the loving kindness meditation, and then we do the breath. So now we talk about breath meditation. Welcome. Okay, so this is the jhana part. It's very repetitive, so I won't show everything. So I will just put ... to show that it goes through all the levels of concentration. So for each level, at the end, right? Okay, maybe you look at the blue ones first. If a person enter this so-called first level of concentration, they will mention, the pleasure, before the blue one, quite secluded from sensuality. Quite secluded from sensuality. Some people will think, Enter jhana means total blackout. Cannot hear, cannot see, no thinking, no heartbeat, no nothing. Not true yet. Yeah, not true. So in the first jhana, you're quite secluded. That means you don't react to the stimuli. You know there's stimuli outside, but you don't react. You always focus on the object. Then from that continuous paying attention to the meditation object, there'll be rapture and pleasure born from this seclusion. There'll be a new kind of happiness, not from sensual pleasures, in short. So you develop a new alternate source of happiness. So I will show the chart later, all the 4 jhanas. Okay, so the last one, last sentence of the first jhana. He should attend carefully to this same concentration through mindfulness of in and out breathing. So even in your concentrated state, you need to focus on your meditation object. So that's for the first jhana. And all the jhanas, interestingly, also the same, including the highest one, this one. With the complete transcending of the dimension of neither perception nor non-perception. So this neither perception or non-perception is the 8th jhana, or the 4th formless concentration. So that's what the Buddha learned before he attained enlightenment. It's neither perception nor non-perception. And interestingly, at the end, also the same thing, right? He should attend carefully to the same concentration through mindfulness of the in and out breathing. So every level of concentration, you need to focus on in and out breathing. So some people have the misconception and say, okay, only first jhana, then you can observe, you can this vitaka vichara. Vitaka vichara. So I'm going to show the next slide. Okay, so these are all the so-called the jhanas. Yeah. In the sutta, they don't call the top 4 jhanas, they call it formless concentration, arupas. But for simplicity, we just use jhanas. Because in the breath meditation, probably that's the only object that can systematically go from level to level, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth. Probably the only meditation subject. The previous 2 meditation which we taught you all, for example, the Brahmaviharas, we teach, may all beings be well and happy, then you enter the first one, right? Enter the, theoretically, right? If you continuously do it correctly, you can enter the first level of concentration, you add some insight, you enter the 4th level of concentration, so you bypass the 2nd and the 3rd. And if a person do compassion meditation, they wish all beings free from suffering, then they enter the 2nd. And so on and so forth. The appreciative joy, the 3rd, equanimity, the 4th. So if let's say we go through the routine of the 4 Brahmaviharas, so each meditation object has pros and cons. For example, if let's say I teach breath meditation to guide your jhanas. Example, I teach you all, guide you all until the 1st level. Okay, let's say somebody can do the 1st level. And then I continue giving instruction the 2nd level. And 2nd level, they fall asleep. For whatever reason, they fall asleep. Then I give them instruction, go to 3rd level. They fall asleep anyway, so they cannot carry on. Then 4th level, then they cannot carry on. So they only up to the 1st level because they fall asleep at the 2nd level. Okay, so that's for the breath meditation. So that's the issue. But if let's say I teach the 4 Brahmaviharas, I teach may all beings be well and happy, you fall asleep. Never mind. I teach compassion. May all beings be free from suffering. Let's say you wake up. Let's say you wake up. You can continue. You can go to the 2nd level. And let's say I do appreciative joy. May all beings, I rejoice with all beings. You fall asleep. Never mind. Then for the equanimity, you talk about karma ripening, you can do, right? Let's say you wake up and you can do. So at least you can get 2 and 4. 2 and 4, for example. So every meditation has pros and cons. So this breath meditation is so technical that usually I don't teach it like maybe in one-off large crowd setting. Let's say maybe house blessing, how to teach breath meditation. Or let's say somebody about to pass away on the deathbed, right? Lying there, you ask them to teach, okay, all the steps, cannot, right? So there are sometimes more convenient meditation objects. You just ask them, recite Buddho, recite Buddho. Yeah, recite think of the Buddha's quality, recite Buddho. So in the Thai tradition, they use this Buddho is not to think of the 9 qualities of the Buddha, it's just to recite one quality. So it's like a mantra. So usually mantra meditation can jump straight away to the 6th one. This perception of infinite consciousness. Yeah, so that's the mantra type meditation. Whatever tradition, short mantra, keep repeating the whole day, repeating. You don't mix with other meditation. You don't mix with the breath. Don't mix with anything. Just chant. Can go to the 6th one. This is my opinion. Okay, so never mind. So I'll just go to the next one. Okay, who have seen this chart before? More or less something similar, right? So so this chart talks about the different emotional factors. We call it jhana factors when you so-called enter the different jhanas. So that's why I don't put the wordy form. This is the tabulated form. So I'll try to explain this chart. Okay, so if you look at this chart over here, the first row it mentions 4-fold, right? Then the second row it mentions 5-fold. So we are totally going to ignore the 5-fold because 5-fold is the Abhidhamma classification. Yeah? Abhidhamma changed 4 jhanas to 5 jhanas. So, and the claim is mentioned by Sariputta. So we look at the column on the left. So these are the various, we call jhana factors. So on the left, the Pali words, vitaka means application, that means initial application of thought. Vichara, sustained thinking application. Then you have piti, which is joy, sukha, happiness, ekagata, one-pointedness, and upeka, which is equanimity. So most of the suttas won't mention ekagata. Only a few suttas will mention one-pointedness, right? Because it's so least mentioned. Some teachers, I don't want to mention, maybe some forest tradition master will tell you, all the jhanas don't have ekagata except for the 4th jhana. They will tell you this. This shows that how much they not familiar with the jhanas. Okay, so if you want to talk about the first column, if a person, let's say, watch the breath and they come down into the baseline level, no jhanas yet. Baseline level, no jhanas yet. So the translation used by Ivan Jeffrey, he used rapture and pleasure. Rapture and pleasure. So rapture is joy, pleasure is happiness, piti and sukha. He used different words only. Okay, so now we change the term, which is joy and happiness, which is the term which I'm more familiar with. Okay, so if you look at the column that mentions first, under the 4-fold, first. So there are these few emotions or few factors. First, you have the application, sustainment, joy, happiness, and of course, one-pointedness. So these are the factors for the first level of concentration. So for those who so-called experience it for the first time, it will be quite impossible to differentiate all, which is joy, which is happiness, which is initial sustained thinking. You won't know because it's all clumped together. It's one emotion. So you won't know. So the way to differentiate these different levels is different factors is to go from level to level. So the difference in the 2 emotions is the difference in the factors. Okay, so if let's say a person go to the second level of concentration, which is the after the dash, then you see the second on the top row, ignore the third at the bottom. So we go down to that whole column. So the second level of concentration will have joy, happiness, one-pointedness. Yeah, joy and happiness, mainly these two factors. So the first and second level of concentration, about the same emotion, joy and happiness, all mixed together like rojak. But the difference is there's no more application and sustainment of thought. So some scholars, maybe long ago, some scholars, they think that initial and sustained thinking is to think of the meditation object, like the breath. They believe by watching the breath, that is initial and sustained thinking. Then once you go to the second level, you can ignore, don't need to watch the breath anymore. So that's their opinion. But of course, if you look at the sutta earlier, every level of concentration need to watch the concentration of the in and out breathing, right? So we are going to ignore those scholars' opinion. We are just going to understand the difference between the first and second level. Usually, I let you experience for yourself. There's some intensity difference of this joy and happiness. So the difference in intensity is due to the disappearance of this application and sustainment of thoughts. So these are actually thought cluttering processes. Thought cluttering processes. They are not used to evaluate the meditation object. No, these are thought cluttering processes. It will disappear once you go to the second level. So this is the at least how I interpret it. So you must see for yourself. Okay, then for the third level, which is the last second column on the right, you only have one factor called happiness. So the same thing, if you want to know the difference between joy and happiness, you need to transit from the second to the third level. So only when there's a difference in emotion, then you know, okay, this is called happiness and the one missing is called joy. So that's how you differentiate. Okay, then the fourth level will be this equanimity. Yeah, equanimity. So equanimity, no joy, no happiness. All right, so that's the formula. All right, any yes. Fourfold line. Yes, ignore the dash column. Equanimity is not one pointed, it's different. Yeah, the fourth column has yeah, correct. Yeah, one pointedness and equanimity. Yeah, that's the fourth jhana. It has equanimity. Yeah, one pointedness is appears throughout all, first level all the way to the fourth level. Yeah. The difference in emotion, then you know there's something obvious. So one way to tell is that's why you need to take note of the emotion at the baseline level. At the baseline level. So how to go from one level to the next level is again back to this 16-step instruction. Okay, mindfulness of mind. Yeah, so these 4 steps will cycle over and over again. So let's say you start off from fresh. You watch an in and out breath, wish you well and happy, and then let the mind calm down. Okay. So once it calm down, the mind is satisfied, you start to steady, which is step 11, you steady the mind, calm down, settle already, steady, the mind is stable. Then it's a bit like a spring, right? So whenever you feel you're ready, then you release the spring. So the releasing of the mind is actually the condition to go to the first level of concentration. So release means you temporarily don't pay attention to the breath. We let the thing decompress. You let the mind decompress. So it will expand by itself. You spring by itself. You don't have to push, no forcing, don't have to do anything. You just observe any change in the emotion. So the baseline level usually is quite neutral, So only when it expand, then you observe any difference in the emotion. there should be a slight significant increase in the joy and happiness. So from something bland to something pleasant. So that's the thing you look out for. Yes, correct. So when a person enters the first level, there will be clinging again. Naturally will be clinging. So you need to watch the breath well and happy until the mind settles down. It's a bit like driving a car. You need to reach a certain speed to change gear. So the speed is akin to the calming of the mind. So you need to reach the breath well and happy until the mind calm down. Then steady the mind. Once you steady, it's still at the first level, but steady first level. Then you can release again. Then it will enter the second level. So releasing will be like changing gears, akin to changing gears. Yes. Yep. Yep. So that's how you go to one by one. Then the main thing is to observe any change in the emotion. So we're looking at the jhana factors, emotion. So we're not looking at other optional symptoms, like people look whether you can see light or not, or how long you can sit, or whether you can stop breathing, that kind of thing. So we're not looking for those non-scriptural evidence stuff. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Say for joy and happiness, there are certain types of joy described in the Bible. So if I feel one type now, then when I next enter again, I feel another type. Am I doing correctly? Or do I need to feel all the five types and then that's how I feel joy?
Okay, so the joy from, for example, the factors of awakening from impermanence is uniquely that. So the jhana joy won't have that. Yeah, won't have that at all. So the jhana joy is different. The depth will be different, depends on how long you sit or how much effort you put in. But intensity won't be much different. It's the depth of calmness, that's all.
But if I dwell there, it means actually
not say clinging. The emphasis is on repeating the right thought. Wish it well and happy. So for this particular phase, we're still doing the pure samatha thing. That means to wish it well and happy. Maybe for the more advanced practitioner, then you do the impermanence part.
you shift over
impermanence part later, because now at this point of time you may not be able to differentiate the factors of awakening versus the jhanas. These are two very different things. Last time I used to combine, last time in my earlier class I used to combine because I afraid people attach. They end up everyone attached to the factors of awakening. Then they all cannot feel any jhanas at all. So that's some of the students, issues for some of the students. So I'm not going to do that really. I'm going to separate them. Then only when they are more advanced, then we can combine. Yeah.
These 2 days we do this, and then the next 2 days we become advanced, learn.
Depends on situation. Yeah, depends on situation. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, this morning will be just to samatha. Yeah. Not yet inside. Yeah. Inside. Yes, correct. Yeah. So last night we didn't release the mind, so we didn't go into the jhanas. We just come to the baseline level. Then we go into this the impermanence, the inside part. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Yep. Temporarily don't watch the breath, because once you watch, you are a bit like holding on. So when you let go, you temporarily don't hold on. You just observe any change. Once you are able to identify the change in emotion, which is the next level, and you continue watch the in-out breath again for the craving to settle down. Yeah, correct. Yep, correct. Emotion, yes. Look out for the emotion. Yeah. Yep. Settling down first is more of steadying the mind. So once you release, you observe any change in the emotion. Yeah. Temporary, yes. Yep, correct. Yes, that's right. Yep. Okay. Um, we it's not the mundane emotion. So this joint happiness is born from seclusion. So it's a secluded happiness. So it's not the sensual happiness. They're very different. Okay. So if there is real letting go, if you really let go, release the mind, the emotion you know is different from the normal kind of happiness. It's a different experience.
Can I say that the emotion is actually an outcome of your meditation? Say, achieve a level of calmness, level of tranquility. That's the emotion come up rather than searching for emotion.
Yeah, is to look out for the changes. Because once you release the mind, the emotion will come as a byproduct. As a byproduct.
It's not something before such a byproduct.
Yeah, byproduct, but then it's an indicator, like indicator to let you know which level you're in. So you cannot fake out the emotion. This one is you must do the processes, then these factors will come naturally as a result.
Then after that, you will go through the whole process again and see whether it is mind. See whether you can go to the second level.
Yeah, correct.
Sustainment.
Okay, so if a person watch the breath well and happy for the mind to settle down, the baseline level won't have any factors. The baseline level won't have any factors. So the baseline is still not the first level. Baseline is ground zero. Huh? So ground zero, no factors. So the sutta method is to release the mind, whereas the so-called scholar method is to drop the factors. So if you are at baseline, what factor to drop? No factor to drop. So you need to release the mind. Huh?
First release of the mind.
Yep, correct. Yep. Then the same thing. Once the mind is calm, then release the mind again. You go to the second. Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah, you need to be mindful of the body also, which is the in and out breathing. Yeah, still need to. Again, like driving a car, you need to be multitask. You cannot just say focus on one thing and the rear screen don't look, and you need to look at everything. Yeah.
What does release the mind? It's not like before releasing mind there's tension.
A bit of tension, I would say, is when the mind settles, the craving come down. There will be some kind of potential energy when the craving settles down, when the mind settles down. So there will be a potential energy somewhere. So everybody have a different location or settling. It depends on your maximum detachment level. So once you release that, then yeah, you evolve.
What does that potential?
each for themselves. I won't really put the word tension. I would just say the mind is stable and more obvious. More obvious. I won't say tension. Yeah.
So this is not paying attention.
Temporarily don't place your attention there at that location. Temporarily. Okay, you can just make a wish. May I let go of this mind? May I release the mind? Yeah? So this might help.
One thing I wish that of you properly
Okay, so the first 4 steps is to, I won't say won't feel, you won't be too disturbed when you calm down bodily fabrication. So that should be the ideal case. Only for example, maybe the 4th level of concentration, you're too, how do you call it? When the mind is equanimous, when you're kind of enjoying the peace or the calm, then it seems you're more unaffected. Yeah, the mind not easily shaken. Okay, any question?
Yesterday, last night, this guided actually is very steady, she in and everything up. Until it's very steady, very calm. Tends to be like impermanence starts coming because of the movement of and then suddenly there's no
Mm.
I actually observe from object.
Okay.
But when that object means
Mm.
then when eyes off everything and it's different kind of species of
Mm.
then very certain and then I let it go. It's just that and then we should ask it's very sweet.
Mm. Yeah, so if you think of impermanence, it will eventually lead to this serenity and peace, calmness. Yeah. Okay, so the level of calmness or the depth of calmness depends on how much impermanence you keep reflecting. So that one has no end. That one has no end. The only end you reach is only if you reach Nibbana. So the end of the journey of after impermanence is Nibbana. Yeah. Yeah, correct. To see how peaceful you can get, see how much you can let go. Mm. Yep.
What is the suggested practice we go the one that you did just now.
Yeah.
Then we go inside. We start. I mean, the part where we wish relatively possibly, right?
Yeah.
Then we start to fly this step, go into this finish before we go inside.
Okay, so last night what we do is without any jhanas, then you're going to the impermanence, right? So it gives like certain depth only, certain not much oomph, not much strength. So this cultivation of these jhanas is to like give fuel and give a bit more the mind a bit more power, more strength. So the purpose of reaching equanimity of this 4th level of concentration is to boost the mindfulness. Yes. Yeah, you can do one and later, or if some people they are more advanced, they combine also can. Yeah. Up to individual, yes. There's no hard and fast rule. Yeah. So we'll talk more on that in the future lesson. Yeah. Okay.
As a thought joy. It's very different from this show is very short. But you hear is really joy.
It's
never felt.
Okay. What are you contemplating? Is it impermanence?
Now, when I after you say,
Yeah.
so it's like, I don't know how to describe it, it's mindset.
Okay.
Suddenly, there's a part of joy that
Yeah.
come up from there.
Yeah, so that joy is the insight-related joy. Part of the factors of awakening. Yeah, very fast. Yes. You disappear.
It's just a very
Yeah.
it's a moment.
Correct. Yeah.
It's like a swirl over.
Yeah, correct.
And the joy is
Yeah.
so
So that is not jhana, not jhana. It's the factors of awakening joy. It's a different process. Yeah.
So we have to wait for this one to settle down. Then we wait for the moment to
Yeah.
then we enter the jhana.
Correct. So for this morning session, we won't be thinking of impermanence at all. No impermanence, just pure samatha to be able to differentiate this. Yeah.
I think when you did the last time we did when you ask us straight question. Yeah. We did the straight we all that was the part I could really feel the shock joy. But it was very fast.
Okay. Okay, so probably you didn't continue to wish all beings free from suffering.
Because I was like, suddenly, there's such joy. I never felt before.
Okay.
Also, you have to
Continue. Yeah. So for samatha is to keep on continuing. So like mentioned, sometimes the sutta is when they talk about certain maybe non-arya, that means disciple of the noble one, they practice jhana, then they get reborn in the Brahma worlds. Afterwards, they can get reborn in the lower realm. Something like that is akin to a meditation when we talk about the micro sense. A person may practice, right? They experience something new or something nice. They forget the causes, then very fast go down, very fast go back down again. It's like that. So you must continue to plant the causes. Keep on rowing the boat. Keep turning the Dharma wheel. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, correct. Yeah. Okay. So if a person is that, for example, the first jhana, continue to wish the in and out breath well and happy, no matter what happens. So if you do it, let's say for 1 hour, 2 hours, it's still the same factors. If you never let go, it will still be the same factors for the first jhana. Yeah. Okay, one question at the back. Yeah.
Yeah, for those people who are familiar with rising and falling, so
can also, if you do this, okay. The labeling, will be difficult. If you need to wish well and happy. Wish well and happy. Yeah. Because if you straightly go to the reflection of it rising and falling or impermanence, if you go to the insight route. Yeah. So if you want to do the jhana route, the label you don't use rising and falling first. Yeah. Yes. Yep.
What happens if you go to the Brahmavihara and then you lose the sensation of maybe you still continue all the process until Malaysia?
Yeah, if let's say you don't feel anything or even the breath you don't feel anything, repeat the mantra. Repeat the mantra. So this one it will be mentioned later in the Satipatthana Sutta. We have a recurring phrase, recurring stock formula, this particular paragraph that talks about if you're able to observe the origination and passing, then go ahead. If not, you can observe origination, if not, you observe the passing. Or if you cannot observe both, at least keep this remembrance of this impermanence. So, but in the case we are not doing impermanence, so we are doing well and happy, well and happy, well and happy. Okay, if you are doing the open area, Brahmaviharas, then there's more area to look out for things. Then you might look for other sensations to synchronize. Yeah. Okay.
When it comes to the paper, I think I'm keeping my house because the thought of people suffering with that karma right.
Okay. And then that means you go into story making really. Try not to go to story making. Just talk about karmas ripening here now, ripening here now, ripening. So when you worry for other people, we call hindrance, restlessness and worry. Restless and worry. It's an imaginary thing. You won't know what's real happening real time. So it's all mind-made. Right? Okay. Yeah.
It's not I think in body you see
Well and happy.
when we are doing we just like mantra, just mention that
Yeah.
how we have to
I don't need to radiate the feeling. It's a mental wish, well-wishing, mental, well and happy. Yeah. Because emotionally, we do not know what is, at least for beginner, we do not know what is the pure love, what is the enlightened love here. So it's a concept, you keep on cultivating, purifying, then it get more and more closer. Okay, anyone else?
The formulas is attainments don't have any formula, so how can still be conservative?
Very good question. I think the formless thing is more of a perception. There's a lot of misconception. People say formulas cannot use the form object. Actually, when we are watching an in and out breath, we are training the mind now, using the mind to perceive the breath. So it's not really the breath itself, but more on the 5 aggregates. Yeah. So when we talk about the formless state, it's still watching the in and out breath, but actually it's not dependent on I won't say the breath will turn to something else. It's not like the oxygen level will be purer or something. It's more on the mind, the perception.
But even for jhana, the breath stops already. So
Not really, according to this Dipa Sutta. Okay, so sometimes if you cannot feel the in and out breathing, you might need to, one can look for this sometimes mental energy, the attention of that place, breathing in and out, yeah? So you can look for that also, subtle forms.
even there's a cessation of perception. There's no perception at all.
Okay, this cessation is actually cessation of craving formations. Cessation of craving formations. So again, we don't conjecture for you to experience yourself. So you need to go through level to level to see the difference. But the sutta say continue to watch the in and out breathing.
Could be just starting from
Every level also watch the in and out breathing. If not, there will be this tendency to want to cling onto that state and forget to plant the causes. You have this issue. Then it's become like the fall down from the Brahma realm thing. So that's I would say, the popular misconception. People aim to just, want to stay there and want to plant the causes. Yeah. Okay, any other question?
The rest you have reached cessation, it's your thoughts, no more thoughts. You can say it's the cessation of the formation of thoughts.
Formation, craving formations.
Cravings.
Yeah. Craving formation,
thoughts.
yeah.
So it means you have reached that level, and then your breath is very subtle, and then your thoughts no more craving. So that is you have actually entered Because you can't even feel the breath.
No, not really. Okay, so because this one says breathing in and out at every level of concentration, so it's for you to investigate for yourself. What does it really mean by cessation? Yeah.
You know yourself have to investigate.
Mm.
You cannot do so
Yeah,
many
correct.
things.
Yeah, so actually there is thinking involved. So the cessation is the definition of third noble truth, the cessation of craving. Yeah, cessation of craving, not cessation of thinking. Yeah.
So at least you got to understand the third noble truth first before you
No,
apply it onto your level.
both ways. A person can experience it first, then they understand what's the third noble truth. Or if let's say you want to start off with some right view, you know what to look out for, and instead of chasing the wrong thing or expecting the wrong thing. Yeah.
So what are the things that you have to look for?
Okay, so for now, just follow this first. We won't go until too high. To today's lesson, we try maybe the first four differentiate first. Yeah. Okay. Any other? Hmm. Yeah.
So just straight away jump.
Don't switch. Don't switch. Just wish the in and out breath well and happy. If you lost it, come back lah. That one you changing object already, ma. Changing meditation object. So Buddha won't have jhana factors. You do Buddha straight away jump to level 6. Perception of infinite consciousness, if a person do it. So got no jhana factors. So the Thai forest monks, they don't know what jhana factor. Most of them won't know. Yeah. They know very peaceful. After come up, which level? Don't know. Like that, yeah. Okay, yeah. Any other question? Okay, how about more? We quite right effort lah. Keep on wish it well and happy, well and happy. Repeat. Okay, when the mind gets more peaceful, it should have incentive to stay there. And the whole idea is to build this habit of repetition, right effort. Yeah, even though it's peaceful, there's a tendency to cling also, and you forget this planting the causes. So that's why I keep on nagging, keep on repeat the right thought. Yeah. Okay. Any other issues? Okay, if not, we can start. It's a long theory session. Hopefully, we can make something out of it. Okay, so I presume everyone's here, so we can settle down, find a comfortable sitting position, and make sure the back is upright and the rest of the body relaxed. Okay, so once you're quite comfortable, then we first identify our so-called breath body, which is the area of attention where you want to feel the in and out breathing. So it could be below the nostril, one area, could be the diaphragm or the chest, the rib cage, or the entire body. So you find one spot. So once you have determined that area, you don't jump from place to place. So we kind of stick to one area all the way. And we let our inhalation and exhalation be a natural reflex action No need to control or force. But breathing in and out like that, no Dhamma value, so we need to add the right thought. So in this today's routine, we are doing the samatha aspect only. So we're going to wish the in and out breath well and happy. Whenever you inhale, wish the breath well. Whenever you exhale, wish the breath happy. So the evidence of the in and out breathing, we call this mindfulness of the body. The labeling or the verbalization in the mind, wishing the in and out breath well and happy, that's part of right thought. And the repetition, we call it right effort, to maintain this wholesome thought. So the idea is to make peace with the breath. We are not training the breath, we are not controlling the breath. We are not weaponizing the breath or anything, or making the breath having any healing properties. So the idea is to learn to make peace with the mind using the breath. Inhale well, exhale happy. And let the calming be the byproduct. You're not forcing the mind to calm down. Always emphasize on the right causes. So if we follow the Eightfold Path, which is the fourth noble truth, it should lead to calming of the craving fabrications, or the mental fabrications, bodily fabrications. So the reduction in craving is the third noble truth. So every time we let the mind autopilot, we forget to wish the in and out breath well and happy, we are like stirring the muddy water solution. Okay, so the mind should be able to calm down to this baseline level, which is your current maximum level of settling. Huh? So you find the rate of settling is like negligible, then we kind of take it, this is your baseline level. So we can familiarize with this baseline level. Emphasis is on wishing the in and out breath well and happy, keep on planting the causes. And at the sidelines, we take note of the emotion. And for those who are a bit drowsy, you might need to increase your rate of reflection. Okay, so we make sure we fulfill two criteria. First criteria, the mind needs to be calmed down due to the right thoughts. And second criteria that we take note of the state of mind, which is to remember this emotion. Okay, so for those who are still following, if you have these two criteria, the mind is calm and you remember this emotion, whenever you are ready, then you can make a wish to release the mind, just like releasing a spring. And once you let go, you observe any change in emotion. Don't have to push or do anything else. Okay, if let's say the emotion has transit from something neutral to something more pleasant, that's the indicator for the first level. So we multitask and we take note of this emotion and keep on wishing the in and out breath, well and happy, for the mind to settle down. Okay, if you find your mind quite stable, reach the stability point in the first level, and we do the same thing, familiarize ourselves in the first level. Emphasis is on wishing the in and out breath well and happy. And at the sidelines, we take note of that emotion. And for those who are still following, and we make sure we fulfill the two criteria. First criteria is the mind needs to be calmed down due to the right thoughts. And second criteria is that we take note of the emotion of the first level. Okay, so for those who are new to this practice, you cannot differentiate all the factors, doesn't matter. You just know this. If there's an increment of this pleasantness compared to the neutral baseline, so that's the state of mind. So in theory, the first level has 4 factors: initial thinking, sustained thinking, joy, and happiness. And once you have fulfilled the 2 criteria, the mind is calm, and you've taken note of the first level of this emotion, whenever you are ready, then we can do the same thing. You can change gear and let go of the mind. You can make a wish. May I let go of the first level? And once you have released the mind, we observe any changes in the emotion. Okay, so the pleasant emotion become more intense or more distinct, and that would be the indicator for the second level of concentration due to the disappearance of this initial and sustained thought cluttering process. So we're going to take note of this pleasant emotion, multitask, and watch the in and out breathing, wish the in and out breath well and happy for the mind to settle down. No matter how calm or how pleasant you think it is, continue to row the boat. Keep on wishing the in and out breath well and happy. If your mind is quite settled down, then you can familiarize yourself with the second level. Emphasis is on the reaching the in and out breath, well and happy. And at the sidelines, we take note of the emotion of the second level. Okay, for those who are still following, you make sure we fulfill the two criteria. First criteria, the mind needs to be calmed down due to the right thoughts. And the second criteria, we take note of the emotion in the second level. So in theory, the second level only has two factors, joy and happiness. Okay, and once you have the two criteria, the mind is calm and you take note of the emotion. Whenever you are ready, then you can let go of the second level, just like letting go of a spring. So once you made a wish to release the mind, you just observe any change in the emotion. Okay, and if you experience a different pleasant emotion, that's due to the disappearance of joy. So now what's left with happiness. So again, we multitask, we take note of this happiness and wishing the in and out breath well and happy for the mind to settle down. And for those whose minds quite settled down, and we can familiarize ourselves with the third level. Emphasis is on wishing in and out breath well and happy. And at the sidelines, we take note of this emotion of happiness. And for those who are still following, make sure we fulfill two criteria. Huh? First criteria, the mind is calmed down due to the right thoughts. And the second criterion is that we take note of this emotion of the third level. So in theory, the third level of concentration only has one factor called happiness, and one more factor, a bit of equanimity. So two factors. Okay, and once you have the two criteria, the mind is calm, you take a note of the emotion. Whenever you are ready, then you can release the mind, just like releasing a spring. So you make a wish to let go of the third level. And once you release the mind, you observe any change in the emotion. Okay, you experience something like a refreshing or alert kind of experience. No more happiness, the happiness is gone. Then that will be the indicator for the fourth level. So we call that equanimity. So again, we multitask and we take note of this equanimity and wish the in and out breath well and happy for the mind to settle down. Okay, for those who are quite settled down, then we can familiarize ourselves with the fourth level. Emphasis is on wishing the in and out breath well and happy. And the sidelines, we take note of this emotion of equanimity. Okay, so we make sure we fulfill two criteria for those who are still following. First criteria, the mind needs to be calm and settled down due to the right thoughts. Second criteria, we need to take note of the emotion. So the fourth level of concentration, we'll just have one factor called equanimity. And once we have these two criteria, what we're going to do now is to go stun. We're going to reverse. We're going back down to level 3. So you just basically tell your mind to descend, go back down to level 3. And as the mind goes down, observe any change in the emotion. Okay, if the emotion of happiness appear, that's the indicator for the third level territory. So again, we multitask, take note of this emotion, wish the in and out breath well and happy, for the mind to settle down. Okay, and if the mind is quite settled, and we make sure we fulfill the two criteria. Mind is calm down due to the thoughts of right thoughts, and we take note of the emotion of happiness on the third level, and we make a wish to go back down to the second level. So as the mind descends, we observe any change in the emotion. And if you get a different pleasant emotion, that's due to the introduction of joy. So now it's a mixture of both joy and happiness. So it's an indicator for the second level of concentration. So we multitask again, take note of the emotion and wish the in and out breath well and happy, for the mind to settle down. If you find the mind quite settled down, make sure you fulfill the two criteria. Mind is calm down due to the right thoughts, and you take a note of the emotion at the second level. So it's just two factors, joy and happiness. And whenever you are ready, you can make a wish to go back down to the first level. So as the mind descends, you observe any change in the emotion. Okay, so if the pleasant emotion starts to feel diluted or you feel more cluttering, that obstruction is called initial and sustained thinking. So these are the background cluttering process. So we take note of this emotion as a whole, and we wish the in and out breath well and happy for the mind to settle down. Okay, if your mind is quite settled down, then we multitask. Keep on wishing the in and out breath well and happy. And we make sure we fulfill the two criteria. Mind is calm down due to right thoughts. And we take a note of the emotion on the first level. So this first level has four factors: initial thinking, sustained thinking, joy, and happiness. And once you have fulfilled the two criteria, then we make a wish to go back down to the baseline level, back to ground zero. So as the mind descends, you observe any changes in the emotion. Okay, so if you are at the baseline emotion, make sure everything is bland, no more happy, joyful kind of emotions there. And continue to wish the in and out breath well and happy for craving to settle down. So every state of mind are also got craving and clinging. So sensual realm and sensual realm clinging, form and formless concentration and they are clinging. So it's part of samsara. I need to keep on treading the Eightfold Path. Okay, once you are done, you can feel the fingers and toes. Yeah, so spread the awareness throughout the entire body. Do not fixate on one point. Then you can slowly, if you wish, you can come out of meditation. If you wish, you can continue other kinds of meditation. You can do the Brahmaviharas, think of impermanence, or if you want, you can switch to insight. Yeah, the breath, think of impermanence of the breath, in, out, rising, falling, and see what's the difference with this temporary boost. Yeah? So I leave it to self-practice. Now it's 10:44. You have some time to self-practice.